Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last Friday night, I was at dinner with my family and I pulled my phone out of my purse and it was filled with messages that Carmen Ramirez had died. Carmen was a giant in Ventura County. Her loss is a tragedy beyond measure. When I first met Carmen when I was on the city council, and she was on the city council in Oxnard, and when I told her I was going to run for the state assembly, she called me into her living room with Latino leaders from throughout Oxnard, and she explained to me about the Oxnard community, and she also told me what her expectations were for me. Over the years, we have worked closely together. She wrote me my first check and knocked on doors in Oxnard to help get me elected. On Sunday night, I was at an event, and I was talking to somebody, and I said, I just talked to Carmen a few days ago. We were talking about a budget item. That person said, yeah, I just talked to Carmen yesterday. And the next person that I talked to said, I had lunch with her last week. That was the type of person Carmen was. Everybody that I had talked to had just had an interaction with her, and everybody thought Carmen was their best friend. Carmen was Ventura County's first Latina supervisor and a longtime activist. She was first elected to the Oxnard City Council in 2010. She was elected to her supervisorial seat in 2020. An Oxnard resident and attorney, Ramirez served 10 years on the Oxnard City Council before her successful bid for the Ventura County Board of Supervisors, District 5 seat. A little less than 2 years ago in November, she became the first Latina in county history to be elected supervisor. She followed up that achievement this year by becoming the first Latina elected by her fellow board members as chairwoman of the powerful board. She was born Maria Carmen Ramirez in Oklahoma to a Mexican-American father and a mother of Swedish, Irish, and English descent. Her late father, a sixth-generation Californian, served in the Army in World War II and was stationed in Oklahoma when she was born. She grew up in Pico Rivera in LA County. She attended University of San Francisco and Cal State LA before heading to Loyola Law School. Ramirez was admitted to the California Bar Association in December 1974 and started working in Oxnard in 1978, where she would become a coordinator for the Self-Help Legal Access Center's Colonia office. She also served as the president of the California Bar Association in 1998. Over the years, she worked on others' political campaigns, but a successful legal effort in 2007 to oppose a liquefied natural gas terminal on the coast spurred her own involvement in politics. Ramirez is survived by her husband, Roy Prince, and two stepsons. She was preceded in death by her brother, Ricardo Ramirez, who died from COVID-19 in 2021. I ask that we adjourn in Carmen Ramirez's memory.
Thank you. Assemblymember Irwin and Assemblymember Bennett, you're recognized for your adjournment in memory.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I may rise a number of times in whatever career I have here on the Assembly floor to adjourn in memory. I doubt I will ever rise with a more difficult adjourn in memory than the one I'm about to do now for Carmen Ramirez. I really respect this opportunity of this body to be able to request that the State of California's Assembly adjourn in memory of this woman who was one of my closest friends and closest allies. The interesting thing is many of us in Ventura County would say the same thing about their relationship with her. And it speaks to how incredible of a human being she was for all of us, how much strength she brought, how much integrity she brought. But it's no small feat for so many people to say she was the most trusted person in Ventura County. And when you're in the political world where all of us, it's so easy to question politicians and their motives, it was really true that her political opponents, her political supporters, everybody felt the same thing. She was the most trusted person. You never doubted her motives, and it made her the most effective person, and effective in the best way, in that she could unite us. She could bring us together. She could convince us to work for an issue. And when she asked, you didn't even think about saying no, because you had so much confidence in her and you trusted her so much. How did she get to that spot? How did someone who's 74 years old, a Latina in Ventura County, get to that spot? She earned it. She spent 40 years as a lawyer passing up the high salaries and high income that she could have gotten to devote 40 years to helping poor people, 20 years as a legal defense attorney, and 20 years running the Self-Help Legal Center. After 40 years of doing that, everybody in the county knew she was real and knew what she stood for. And so we will miss, in Ventura County, we will miss her terribly. It will take us a long time to get over her. And I think the best thing for all of us to do in Ventura County is to rededicate ourselves to the mission that she had for all of us in Ventura County. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.